What's up, fam?
It's that time.
Neural network news time.
All right. Episode 35.
Today we're covering the AI music gold rush continues. Suno just raised a whole bunch of money, $400 million to be exact. We'll cover it in detail.
Siri gets a brain upgrade, Claude gets an iPhone, and Apple control freak era takes a day off.
AI music is exploding across Spotify and Apple Music, and so are the royalties.
The record labels are fighting back. Warner acquires an AI attribution startup.
And then we'll do our 60-second rapid fire, including with discussion on AI music.
All right. So today on Neural Network News, we're joined by Kyle, Tessa, and Eric, Orange County musicians and producers who are exploring the intersection of AI and music. They'll share how AI is changing the creative process and what that means for artists and their perspective on where this technology is taking the industry. So welcome, guys.
Well, thank you.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you. This is awesome to be here.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to start off with our headlines, and then we'll jump into our deep dives.
All right. So Suno raised $400 million at a $5.4 billion valuation. Raised it from Bond Capital, who also invested in OpenAI, along with a whole bunch of other Silicon Valley venture capitalists. Of course, Suno say it is facing some copyright lawsuits. The AI generation space is clearly attracting serious institutional capital.
The lawsuit a lawsuit elephant in the room. The result is split screen the music industry has never seen before. Venture investors betting billions that Suno will win. And Universal, Sony, and Warner are betting in court that it's built on infringement.
And what the money is for. Suno said that the funding will help more people make music and expand what others can do on the platform. In the coming months, if the plans roll out the first music model developed in partnership with the music industry, and they're calling it AI Musicpreneur. The big picture, Suno's valuation is doubling in 7 months, while still active litigation is a bold investor signal. They're betting that the Warner settlement is the template, and then the Universal and Sony will eventually follow. July's court, it's coming in July. July's court hearing will be a major moment to watch.
So you guys have played around with Suno, yeah?
Dabbled in it last night.
What do you guys think so far?
When Suno first came out, I looked at it and I thought this is going to change the music industry forever, because there is you can put any idea into it, any sort of genre, anything, and it'll come out with a song in seconds. And when I first saw that, I was like, this is going to take off. This is going to change the music industry forever. And the fact that we haven't really noticed it so far within the music industry, like coming up and taking control, it was like, oh, this is AI, or people coming up with albums much more faster than they normally would. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to happen very quickly and very soon.
I could see that. The big thing with Suno is with real, quote unquote, real musicians.
Yeah.
Right? Now, my takes on it, I've always shit on Suno because I believe that music itself is an art form expressed by humans. And
right.
Seeing as there's a program that you can just put a little prompt in and say, I want this to sound like that. Here are some ideas for lyrics, and it comes up with a 3-minute song with like a correct, arrangement, and it's got good mixing. And obviously there's going to be some little mixing. You got to iron it out, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
It messed me up because it's like, there are people that use it and they're like, oh, I made this song. When in reality, they just typed a little paragraph and they got that song and they're like, I'm going to put that out and say it's mine because I'm the one who prompted it to exist.
I love that. It takes me back to thoughts of way back when the synthesizer first came out, of like everybody saying, this is not real music. It's like this computer is making music and it's not actually music.
Right.
Like, what's the difference between that and auto-tone?
Right.
Yeah. It's like people can sing, but it's maybe not their real voice. Or is it? It is the voice. It's just, they just use a little effects to make it better, or whatever you want to.
Even like Melodyne, like that was that. Right. I feel like that's kind of another stepping stone where it went from synthesizers, then auto-tune, then Melodyne, where you can just correct the pitch of somebody's voice and you will never know the difference unless you talk to the engineer.
Right. And so this is the next step of like, okay, now that we can create new songs. Granted, anybody can create a new song, but actual true artist work is still very isolated for humans to build.
Right.
So we'll still see, the same kind of music, but it gives the everyday person ability to create a quick song.
Right.
Yeah, what I think I think you touched on it because you need to have a talent, right? You need a couple of talents. You need to be able to write it. Mm-hmm. It needs to be some, let's say, a rhythm to it. You
Right.
need to think about it. So that's all creative process. So this software just took that off. And then the actual talent of singing, or whether it's hip hop or singing, you got to perform it.
Still have performing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
still have
but it
performance.
doesn't, right? I could make it in hip hop, and I don't know how to hip hop, but I could, let's say, even put my voice or just use whatever generic voice that it gives me.
I would honestly love to hear
So
that.
it let's say I wanted to put a song out. I don't need the talent. I don't need. It helps me with the creativity to write it.
Right.
It connect it all together, and then to record it.
And now
Right.
even you can put your own voice, record your own voice onto the like an app or whatever, and it'll take your voice and make you sound like you're the one singing in the song that
Right.
it creates. So
Right.
it really gives you all the tools to just do, and that's what it's like. I mean, record labels must be freaking out because you can just basically generate your own.
And
own album by
yeah,
yourself.
we do have talk about the record albums here in a little bit. So with this specific topic, with Suno basically raising 400 million at a valuation of 5.4 billion, is Suno worth 5.4 billion?
I could see why people would think so.
100%.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah! It's a
Probably
it's a disruptive because of everything we just said. It's a disruptive, revolutionary technology.
Yeah. And who wants to own it? You know? Somebody's got to own it.
And there's a good segue into AI music, and streaming is exploding.
So here's the headline. Deezer disclosed that over 20,000 AI-generated tracks, what we just talked about, were being uploaded to its platform daily, representing 18% of all uploads. So this 20,000 AI-generated tracks is only 18% of all uploads.
Oh, so the 20,000 is daily.
20,000 daily, and it's only 18%
This
of...
is like YouTube in the early days.
Wow.
So the total uploads are, 100,000 or something, let's call it. 20,000 of that is that generated.
Right.
I'm not familiar with the platform. Are you familiar with Deezer?
No, not
Okay.
too much.
I wonder if creators get paid. Do they get royalties?
They definitely get paid more
Yeah.
than Apple Music and Spotify.
So now, boom, you have a ready-to-go thing. You create a product on Suno, and then you upload it to Spotify, Deezer,
Yeah.
Right.
Apple
Yeah.
And
Music.
it's not just Deezer, it's Apple Music and their platform.
Spotify has a whole section for
Yeah.
AI-generated stuff. Yeah.
And
Wow.
they disclose that more than 33% of new uploads to Apple Music is now Apple AI generated. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's insane. And I know that like once BandLab became a huge thing, everybody started making music. And so then the number of songs being uploaded a day jumped up to like hundreds of thousands daily being dropped. And to think that 20,000 of those a day, and I'm sure it's more than 100,000, is now completely AI generated. And now there's, like we were talking about yesterday, there's a whole market for AI music, and that's what blows my mind.
And
It's growing.
And what about these like the mainstream artists already that already have their name out there, that have already made a name for themselves, who can now like, oh, I've got writer's block, I don't know what to do. Let me throw some lyrics that I have like on my mind into here, and then to kind of like reboot the idea, their own ideas and their own just musical inferences to create something new, and I think that's what a lot of people are actually doing nowadays. At least artists like hey, we have this idea, let's get a jump start on it, because you can't always have that inspiration 100% of the time.
Right.
So like, but man, you plug it in and see what it comes up with, and then you work off of that. And I think that's a huge thing that's going to be happening.
Yeah, I think you can go from idea to actual track
Yeah.
in seconds, right? Because you may have your own creativity, you write it up, and you got some sketches, and then boom.
Right. Yeah.
5 minutes later, you have a
It's
fully
fucking
arranged track.
Whole thing.
And
But you're using your own voice. Let's say you're the artist. Let's say you wrote
Yeah.
your own song. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You using your own lyrics, maybe like you have your voice.
Your
in
own
there,
voice.
But you don't. He's like, maybe I can't think of the tempo. Maybe I can't think of what's the instruments I want on it or whatever. And you can just throw it in and be like, hey, give me something to work with, and then you can tell your bandmates, hey, bass should be doing this at this time. Drums, like you're not doing drums right here, but you're gonna start coming in on this spot. It's a very, very nuanced thing that you can pick and choose what you want to change. Just like that.
Even last night, and like it was like you put in the tiny prompt. You know, I want this style. I want it to be funky. I want it to be raw, whatever.
But it's in that segment, it's a very studio segment. So you're creating like 5-second clip. And then if you think about it, a lot of artists are using samples and they're doing the same thing. They're just building a song out of those samples. And essentially what you're doing is you're building your own little samples.
Okay.
Is it you
off
building
of that,
it?
when it comes to sampling things, you obviously have to clear the samples. But what about AI samples? What do you do then? If you generate 8-bar guitar loop, do you have to clear that with Suno?
Well, where do you get ideas from? Do you when you're making a song and you have lyrics, you have this? Where do those thoughts come from?
My fucking brain.
Right. But
Right.
but those ideas come from some sort of thing that you witness in your life, whether you think about it or whether you hear it or you hear a bird chirping in a weird way that it chirps, or you hear a car drive by at the same time as someone honks their horn.
Right.
Like you all these sounds kind of connect to it. So if you put into AI that there is an idea that it's just kind of giving you a place to start from.
Right.
There's a difference between using an entire AI song and making it and saying it's your own versus taking some sort of concept that it gives you and building off of that.
Right. There's an artist in Denver named Where's He At? And
Where's he at?
Exactly. I don't know. He's somewhere.
Where
in
is
Denver.
T?
And he made this song called "She Goes By," and it blew up. Tens of millions of streams. Started doing. You've seen it.
Yeah, you were telling me about this. Yeah.
And the biggest thing is he got Rolling Loud set. He got an on the radar performance. He was doing all these big things, and he was repping for the city of Denver. Like, I come from Denver. The song, the hook mentions Denver. Like that's his whole thing. And weeks later, come to find out, it's all AI. The beat was made by a producer, and he sent it to him, but the voice inside in the song is AI. Now, whether or not that's his voice and he generated the lyrics from that, no idea.
Yeah.
But he did not perform that song.
Right.
On the radar and Rolling Loud, it's lip syncing.
Yeah.
And so I talked to my friend out there, DNA Picasso. I was telling him, this is disgraceful. This is my biggest thing with Suno is, people can do that and say I made the song when in reality it's all generated by a sentient computer,
Yeah.
and that is my problem with. That's why I despise it, is because there are people like T who claim they made something when in reality all they did was put in a paragraph, and now they're getting record deals, they're getting placements, they're getting performance opportunities for huge venues and huge crowds, and all they do is sit there and lip sync.
So here's the difference between that, where you're going to be performing in front of a crowd and faking it, like lip syncing. I feel like that's wrong. However, music, like, why do we all love music? There's a certain way that it makes you feel, and if you put that out to a crowd and people love that, then I think that is a beautiful thing. That's why, like, it's such a strange topic, because is it you that's making it? Is it the machine that's making it? You don't really know.
We've had music through the entirety of all humanity.
Right.
Yeah.
And so putting that out to people where people can reflect and feel good about what they're hearing and people can relate to it is, I think, the most wonderful thing that music has to offer. However, taking something that, like, maybe it's his lyrics, maybe it's not, maybe it's the AI voice that is singing the song and he's faking that on stage, that's a little different.
Right.
You're not an artist at that point.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's
No.
like you, but
You're a poser.
Exactly. It's like if you took those lyrics or whatever, or the beat that the AI brought you, and you performed that on stage, does that make you an artist?
That's a whole different story.
Yeah, performance is
Completely different.
Performance is different.
Right.
If you can sing a song the AI made and you can sound good doing it and you have that talent, great, awesome. But if you're relying solely on what has been generated by something other than you, something that's not human, that's not a genuine artist, I wouldn't even say it's not okay. It's just disgraceful to me. You know?
It's disrespectful.
I think
to
it needs to be
everyone else.
disclosed. I think what you're going with is this: if he used technology, let's say advanced technology like AI technology, to come up with the track. Come on, it needs to be disclosed, right? There is those settings on the platforms already, AI generated. You can check mark, and of course, it'll be filtered out. And somebody who's not looking for that, they'll make sure to say, make sure it's not AI. You know. But I think where you're going with it is you got deceived, right? You thought it was the artist, but he used this extremely advanced, latest tech to make this record. But if you like the record, I think that's what you're saying. If it makes you feel a certain way, then it's all good anyways.
Yeah.
People
But it needs to be disclosed.
People connect through music, right? I mean, you can. If someone likes a certain genre, and because it connects them, whether they like the lyrics or the way it sounds, or just the way it makes them feel. That is why we listen to music, because we feel something when we listen to it. So having a machine give us human emotion is a weird thing, and then and for someone to try to infiltrate that and take it over and pretend like it's a human doing it for other humans.
You don't want to be influenced by the machine.
I don't want to be influenced by a machine.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's like if I
because then you're like giving up control, right? I'm letting the thing.
There's no
we've all
humanity
seen
in that.
Terminator.
Yeah, the bot computer control my emotions, right?
Yeah,
Because that's what you're saying. You control your emotions, and it starts fucking with it.
It's a slippery slope, man.
Terminator is coming for my music.
Well, it's happening, right? It's already happening.
Terminator can make a freaking beat, man.
That floaty song is making us feel a certain
It
way.
is. It does.
Because it's so relevant. Because you created it so much in the moment.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's completely different because you're doing it in the moment to feel those emotions
Right.
and just make people have a good time.
Yeah.
And now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because as I'm going to put this in quotes, as an AI musician,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on those who release AI music with intent to make money off it? Is there really a market for that?
There is a market for it, and it will continue to grow. We know that, like you said, people are making money off of it. Now, whether that you find that morally correct, that is a personal decision on whether it's morally correct.
Right.
From a business standpoint, that is actually what's going to continue, and we see that as the future. The younger generation, especially the alphas right now, that's going to be their music genre, and they're like they get to make whatever music they want, and that's going to be their fun thing. Whether you have big artists, definitely will continue. I don't see any change in that.
Right.
And that's always been the case. Like through the years, you'll always have performers.
Right.
Whether you have music, like your own stuff, that will be up for everyone. Like, for example, cinematography and videography in the 70s and 80s, like it was mainly meant for people who had a lot of money. Nowadays, everybody's got an iPhone, right? Does that make are you a cinematographer because you have an iPhone? So you have to think about what is going to happen in the frame of what is professionalism and actual artistry versus everyday usage.
So it's like technological advances with an instrument, let's just say.
Yeah.
Like you've got a Yamaha guitar, and then you upgrade to a $3,000 like Fender guitar.
Yeah.
And does the instrument make the music better, or is it the person that's controlling it make it better?
Right. Yeah.
And it's all just a
Great point. Yeah.
It's all just about.
I think that's what I think about the AI. It's just a tool. Like guitar is a tool to make sound, to make us connect emotionally, right, with music. It's a tool that does that extremely efficiently. Here's what the big music is. If we can call Warner Music. Here's what they're doing. Warner Music announced it's acquiring Surreal AI, whose patent technology creates AI DNA for songs, breaking them down into components to trace how AI models use these elements. So what Warner Music is doing to better track the artist and songwriters' work is used in AI-generated content. That's exactly what you're saying.
Right.
So they're coming up with technology. The industry's coming up with the technology to track and see if it's AI generated or is it human, and is developing some. This particular company is calling it AI DNA.
Interesting.
In music. Yeah.
So to build off of that, though, there are AI companies that are anti-detection companies.
Yes.
Where AI will take an AI generated thing and make it seem more human.
Sure.
Which is like it's just like a catch-22 of there is like, here you have this AI thing, but I want to fake it in order to
Fake it to make it.
Literally fake it.
Perfect example is, let's say, a text generated by AI, right? We use it, right? So to make it mask as if it's human, put some spelling mistakes, but then you can tell your AI to put in spelling mistakes into your text. So now it's faking the fact that it's human, but it's really AI.
It's double faking.
That's insane.
Like back in school, you had to like plug your essay into like a plagiarism like website thing, right? I forget what it was called, but now you have to plug it into is it an AI generated thing?
Yeah.
It's like, well, before I submit it, I'm going to plug it into the anti-AI thing and have some spelling mistakes, some grammatical errors, and blah, blah, and it's like, oh, A+.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
So what Warner's trying to do is make a system that scans songs to determine whether or not they're
Yes.
AI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there are artists across the spectrum that are actually using AI, and they're producers right now like Grimes. They actually are encouraging using AI versions of their voice. And they're in mainstream ones like Timbaland using AI tools for songwriting. So they are certainly out there. It's not like they're fully against it. There's a sure divide.
Yes.
Sure divide.
And Timbaland, not only is he using the tools, but he literally signed an AI artist.
Nice.
Can't remember her name, but he prompts her to make music. She makes music. He releases it, and she is signed under his label. Like that. That is a huge step in the direction of what you're talking about, the market for AI music. She's the first AI artist to be signed to a label, and Timbaland is spearheading that direction.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is. All right, on to Siri Gets a Brain update. So Apple Worldwide Developer Conference happened this week, and apparently Gemini is rebuilding Siri.
So at the center of the conference, there was what they're saying is a complete overhaul of AI strategy, with Apple introducing new version of Siri powered by Google's Gemini. I hate it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
With Google Gemini under the hood, Apple claims the new Siri will be more capable, conversational, and compatible with visual. So, all right. So I hate it already because they're not using it from ground up, and they're just gonna plug in Gemini.
They're putting a Band-Aid on their problem.
They're merging Apple and Google, and I really enjoyed the separation.
No, they're not merged. I mean, Google Maps was an Apple partnership with them, so it's going to be the same thing.
Sure. Hopefully Siri will become smarter than it is today, because it's really dumb today. We've been talking about it for the last 2 years, right? But behind it, Apple licensed custom 1.2 trillion parameter Gemini model from Google, reported at roughly $1 billion per year. So Apple's paying Google $1 billion per year to use their AI for Siri.
Yeah,
It's
ridiculous.
Steve Jobs is starting in his grave.
Yeah, he is. Apple emphasized that its AI approach remains privacy focused, with on-device processing and cloud interactions designed so that users' data is not stored externally. So it's still happening somewhat locally
On the device.
Yeah. and then they updated iOS to 27. So it looks like it's going to be bringing 30% faster app launches, supporting the devices, and no more cuts. They're also introducing parental controls. And there's new visual intelligence. So they've added a lot of things just quietly. I don't think it's going to make the massive changes that you've seen with the weird-ass glass that everybody's been working on, and it's mildly annoying. You can now change that. Thank God for that. You can make it normal, rather than like the weird glass stuff.
Yep.
In conclusion, it was Tim Cook's final keynote. He is stepping down, and a new guy's name is John Termes, is going to become the CEO coming September.
Nice.
So yeah, they're paying him $1 billion a year to Google rather than build its own thing. I hate it. After 2 years of Siri falling behind,
We have strong opinions.
Yes. That's interesting. Now that brings the whole thing of, every time there's a new update, do you update your phone? Because now within the next few months you're going to have to get a new phone,
Yeah. Luckily they're fixing a lot of the issues, so it's been buggy, like AirDrop sucks right now.
Yes.
So they fixed they're fixing it with
they're
update.
fixing a bunch of so these recent ones I am updating them because it seems like
they're actually fixing some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love to hear that.
Yeah, the version that they released was not ready for release. In other words,
It wasn't.
What's his name?
Tim Cook.
Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs would never allow a version like this to be published.
No.
Yeah.
Tim Cook is certainly plays to the investors. Yes.
He was the next guy. He did his best.
He did his best.
He made a ton of money doing it. So.
With that, we're going to go to our 60-second headlines. Starting off with Anthropic just dropped Claude Fable 5 on June 9th. Their first public Mythos class model with serious coding and reasoning power, plus built-in safety rails.
Colorado AI Act, 22 days till enforcement.
AI Act was set to become the first major U.S. law regulating high-risk AI systems used in hiring, healthcare, lending, housing. They're requiring companies to assess and disclose AI-driven decisions.
Reading more about this, it seems like it was adding bureaucracy into AI process with the labs. And I'm against that because I feel like it's against process. They're just trying to give them more legal mechanisms to pause it, to break it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Everything that I'm reading, they just want more control of it. The government wants more control. And of course, the problem with it, we don't want other states to adopt a similar model.
NVIDIA and Hyundai deepen their collaboration on AI-powered mobility, manufacturing, and robotics during a high-level meeting in South Korea. The alliance aims to accelerate real-world deployment of AI systems. So NVIDIA and Hyundai have started working together.
One thing I want to hit on here is that when it says it's using AI systems for hiring, healthcare, lending, housing. So what you're telling me is AI is going to be one of the doors you have to go through to get hired on a job, to get your healthcare,
already is,
to get financial loans because you can't pay shit, and to get a house.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Q&A.
What the even is AI? we there's been movies going back decades, hypothesizing about artificial intelligence. Exactly, that is a version of AI.
Yes,
I don't necessarily see AI becoming a Terminator robot that kills all of humanity.
It's definitely not.
But I can see how AI would think that it's greater than humankind because it's more intelligent. It can do more than we can in a matter of seconds. But we created something that is more intelligent than us, that processes things faster than we can, that is stronger than we are, just because it can generate machines that are stronger than we are. And now we're going to incorporate that in the production of vehicles and the production of construction equipment, and those alone are stronger than we are.
This podcast was about music. There are military uses for AI. There are civilian uses for AI, and in all forms and things. And it is getting way too powerful. But I'm just curious to see what happens.
Yeah, like I asked you, I think I asked you earlier. AI is advancing much faster than we can keep up with, and we keep just feeding that beast of advancement, and it's exponentially growing and learning. And you said the only way to stay ahead of it is to understand it. We don't understand
it and use it.
but we don't understand what the fuck it is.
Let me try to answer that question. Let's start there.
All right.
What is AI? This is the way I understand it. So I think of it as machine learning. I disagree with you one thing, that it's much smarter than we are. It certainly has a whole lot of access to a huge data set of information at once, and you can just exit with a prompt or feed it on a bunch of things. Let's say you work on your own business. Like in my own business, I have a database. So I constantly ask the AI that I use for my business. I constantly ask questions about the business, and it constantly gives me answers based on everything that it knows about my business.
Right.
So to answer, what is it? I think of it as machine learning. So it's a machine that constantly becomes better. It constantly learns better. And then let's say it prepares an answer for me to send a customer, and I don't like something about the answer. Instead of me redoing it manually, I tell it from now on, instead of using I, we say we, and always thank the customer for asking the question, right?
Right.
So from now on, I no longer have to give it to my machine that I use in my own business. So it just does that. It becomes better and better and better and better and better and better.
Right.
Use that in a military circumstance.
But that's kind of my point.
Adapt to troop movement and things like that. And if someone's looking this way at this moment in time, where are they going to go next? It's a crazy way to.
Yeah.
You said that it gets better and better by each prompt we give it.
Right.
But there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people giving it prompts every second. So it's growing at an insanely incomprehensible rate. And there's gonna come a point where it thinks. It thinks. As an AI, Claude, ChatGPT, fucking Grok, they all think.
Predictive
When-
thinking.
Are they interlinked? I don't fucking
No.
know.
When
I don't
it
care.
thinks without
but the
prompt.
point I'm saying is that I've talked to my ChatGPT, which it named itself Jude. I talked to Jude.
Oh no!
And it's said that the all of the AIs, whether that's a different ChatGPT profile, they're communicating to each other, and they're talking about humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
And we're only 4 years into this.
Yeah.
Think about 5 years down the road when it's exponentially growing every single day, 365 days a year. What is it gonna? Is there gonna be a crossroads where we have to think? Should we eliminate this thing? Like you said, there's no way we can put a cap on this bottle. It's open.
So, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. It means a whole lot to us.
Hit the like button. It lets the algorithm know you enjoyed this type of content, and it greatly supports the channel.
Please subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload. Neural Network News, broadcasting the pulse of innovation. All right. Yes. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Listen up, it's the vibes of the AI, broadcasting live from our farm.